Yeah, hi there, friends. This is Bob Hatton. Again, some encouraging words. We are in this book, The Acts of the Apostles. This is so exciting. There's so much tension here in this, and I'm enjoying studying these passages. I'm going through them every day, reading them so that I can find something that I can share with you. I think this is very exciting. Now, the mob of Jewish people, they want to kill Paul. They've got a hold of him. These Jewish people from Ephesus, they are really angry with him, and they've got a hold of him. He's outside of the temple now. They've closed the gates. I guess they're going to beat him up. But news is brought about this incident to the Roman tribune. Tribune is about the same rank as a colonel. He's commanding about 600 soldiers. Normally there are not even that many soldiers in Jerusalem, but because it's the time of the festival, the numbers have been swelled. There's a lot of reinforcements there because they expect trouble sometimes during the festivals. But anyway, he gets to hear this and he thinks that is the guy who've been looking for. This is this Egyptian terrorist who, with about 4,000 of his men, he's been staging revolts in different places. They've killed a lot of people. Now we're going to get him. Perhaps if he knew it was Paul, a guy who preaches this new religion, he would have left him to see what happened and wouldn't have bothered very much. But he thinks this is a dangerous man, this guy. So he sends in, I suppose it's a snatch squad. He doesn't go in with force with a lot of soldiers, but they go in there maybe in some of them in civilian clothing, and they get close to Paul, they get a hold of him, and they bring him out, and they take him prisoner to the colonel, the tribune, whose name is Claudius Lysias. And Claudius Lysias, he starts to talk to Paul, and he says, "Who are you?" And so Paul speaks to him in Greek. He says, "Are you not the Egyptian?" Let's just have a look what the Bible says. He says, Paul says to him, "May I say something to you?" And he said, "Do you know Greek? Are you not the Egyptian then who recently stirred up a revolt and led the 4,000 men of the assassins out into the wilderness?" Paul replied, "I am a Jew from Tarsus in Cilicia, a citizen of no obscure city. I beg you, permit me to speak to the people." He spoke to him in Greek. He couldn't understand him. Paul was using this language, all the time when he was speaking in Achaia and in Macedonia, when he was speaking in Asia Minor, when he was in Ephesus, when he was in Corinth. He was using this language because it was a language that the people spoke. The Romans could speak it. They also spoke Latin, but they spoke Greek. That was the language. He was so surprised because he thought he was an Egyptian. "No, I'm not an Egyptian. I'm from Tarsus. My name's Paul." "Yeah." And he says, "Can I speak to these people?" He says, "Okay, you can speak to these people." So let's continue with what he said in chapter 22, verse 1. He says, "Brothers and fathers, hear the defense I now make before you." And when they heard that he was addressing them in the Hebrew language, they became even more quiet. And he began then to address them and to explain to them what was happening. Now, to the Romans, he spoke in Greek, but to the Jewish people, he spoke in Hebrew. And actually, it was a Hebrew dialect that he used. It was something more like Aramaic. It was exactly what they could understand best. You see, Paul wanted to communicate with them. And because Paul wanted to communicate with them, he used the language that they could understand. So when he was speaking to the Romans, he would speak Greek, or maybe, I don't know whether he could speak Latin, but Latin would be another possibility. But he spoke Greek to them because they could understand that. When he spoke to the Jewish people, he used Hebrew because that was the language that they could use. He said in Corinthians, he said that to the Jews, I became as a Jew, but to the Greeks I became as a Greek. I think that's why he was he took part with this Jewish vow in chapter 21 that we saw a short time ago. He wanted to reach these people. He wanted to speak the words that they could speak. And in those days, speaking Hebrew wasn't quite maybe not enough, but he was speaking about the things, the history of the people of Israel. He was speaking about the things of Moses, about the law of Moses. When he spoke to the Greeks on the Areopag, he spoke about their philosophies and he quoted from their poets and so on. He was finding a way to them. Now, in the cities where we are living, there are many languages. Of course, there's English, and I'm speaking to you in English because I only speak 2 languages, and this is one of the languages. So I assume you can understand English, otherwise you're switched off long back. But then you have other languages, you have other natural languages. You know, if I think about Germany, where I'm living, we have the German language, but some people speak English, some speak Italian. We have foreigners living amongst us. We have people who speak Turkish. We have people who speak Kurdish. We have people who speak Arabic and Farsi and many other languages. And when we want to communicate with them, we have to find some way of communicating, trying to learn their language maybe, or to find somebody who can translate us. But it's more than just language, it's also customs and trying to approach them with the things that interest them. In many countries in Asia, I know that religion is always a theme, and by beginning to speak about religion, you can always find a pathway to people. In Western Europe, that isn't so much so. Religion is not a theme that people would speak about every day. We have football, we have technical things, we have economic things, but we can build bridges through these subjects to reach the hearts of people. And I want to encourage you that wherever you are, whoever you are dealing with, communicate to people. Don't wait for them to learn your language, but try to learn how to speak to them, whether it's a natural language, another language that you have to learn, or whether it's by learning the things that speak to their hearts. Try to do it to reach them with this wonderful gospel of the grace of God, the good news of Jesus Christ who loves us. God bless you. Have a very good day. You're Bob Hatton.